way this morning to pick up a lab. His name is Drew, but they call him Drew the Destroyer, so I'm a little worried. So I've got this guy, Drew. Droodly doodly. Hey, Droodly. What's going on, Drew? What's going on, man? Hey, man. Drew likes to give kisses. He likes to give kisses, but he also likes to go crazy when he sees other dogs. So this one should be fun, right, Drew? You ready? You ready to get? You gonna get learned? Huh? Get some training? Hey guys, we got Drew back here, and you can see a couple other dogs here, and he's actually doing pretty well. He was just whining a little bit, and then we did a little training session with him, and it seemed to help, but he's doing well. So Francisco's just been doing some passes here, getting Drew by the dogs, and then you can see not much reaction at this point, at least. He's learning already to just at least walk by and be a good boy. So one of the dogs, Pepper, had gotten up and wanted to see what the action was all about. So, but Drew's still being good. A little bit of correction, but not very much. So for those that are just watching, just doing a little bit of a video there for Drew's owners. Drew is a really nice lab. He's a really good looking dog too. He's got really cool eyes. But the problem is when he sees other dogs on walks, actually even when he's in his house, and he did it in the truck too, is he goes pretty crazy. He's young, he's not mature yet, so he's like a year and a half. So in my experience, based on my knowledge, when a dog is his age, he'll get a little crazy when he sees the other dog, but when he gets to the other dog, he really doesn't do anything. He actually, sometimes he'll just want to play and act like everything's cool. However, they're not really mature yet. Dogs are usually matured at around 3 years old, so a lot of times around that 3-year mark, it won't just be play. When he hits that more mature age, usually around 3 years old, give or take, then when he gets to the other dog, it'll be a little more aggression, maybe violent, maybe, pinning him down, maybe biting him or something. So it's best to get him in at this younger age to help him to understand there's some rules and some boundaries in life. We work on things like trust, respect, tolerance, impulse control. These are all really important things that he's going to learn while he's here. We already see that he's doing a little better just in the first hour. Okay. Yeah, come on, Ziggy. Ziggy, place. Hey, boy. Yeah. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Hey, good boy. Hey, good boy. Oh, yes. Good boy. Working Pepper outside a little bit, found some distractions. So pretty good. I'm a pepper, she's a pepper, he's a pepper. Wouldn't you want to be a pepper too? Ooh, we got a distraction over here. Then if you're wondering, we just have the lines on because we are in public and she's still in training. If she takes off, I want to be able to control her. I mean, I really doubt that she would, but I don't want to take any chances.
Pepper, come here.
Good girl. There you go, Pepper. Francisco's gonna walk Pepper by this guy. Well, he was. So there was basically no reaction, which is good because that was one of her big things was she barks really crazy when she sees people. So she's doing really well. Yep. She'll be ready to go home soon. Yay! Francisco's walking her through the little shopping center here and see if she responds to anybody, but she's seen a couple people, but really no response, so she's doing really well. Got some people coming up here, so we'll see how she does. Looks pretty good. I think maybe she Stockton. So this is in response to somebody who just sent me a message. His name is Miguel, and so I'm just going to kind of go through some of his questions and answer them instead of typing it, and then maybe anybody who's watching it at least will have an opportunity. We'll have an opportunity to take in some of the things that I'm saying, at least which is my opinion, because nowadays everybody's very opinionated when it comes to dogs. But so first he mentioned that one of the dogs I'm training is fear aggressive, and that's a term that is highly overused, and I really don't use it very often. I stay pretty far from it. What I see in most dogs is it's kind of dominant, territorial, sometimes possessive. Some dogs even get possessive of their owner. But aggression, what I explain to people, is typically is an effort to control something. So whether that's in a human or a dog or any animal, you're using your aggression to control, raising your voice, slamming a door, whatever it is, you're trying to control. So when a dog shows aggression, typically he's trying to control another dog, a person, a situation, and he's in a sense warning them if they don't adhere to what he's saying in his aggression, that he will go to the next level. It would be very similar to if a person's in an argument and then they slam their fist on the table, or they slam a door. In a sense, you're basically warning that person, you better back off, shut up, or whatever it is, do what I'm saying, or I'm warning you. So in training, one of the things that we're doing is we're what I call getting the dog to surrender control. We want the dog, instead of looking at something or posturing or going towards it or barking or growling at it, we want the dog to eventually look to us for the answers. Therefore, one of the reasons why you see us doing place so much is because place is a multifaceted command. The dog has to go to the place, lay down, stay there until the dog's released. And if you notice, we never use the word stay. It's intrinsically part of the command place. In most of my training, I'm establishing a certain relationship with the dog. And the relationship is that the dog has to follow my rules and the boundaries that I set out. And until the dog can make a mortgage payment or put some gas in the car, then he has to learn to follow our rules. We do place so much because it's something we can practice in a low stimulus environment, which is inside the warehouse here where you see us training so much. We want the dog to respond very accurately, very precisely, very quickly. Once we establish that, then we can take the dog outside into an area where it's a higher stimulus environment. There's more going on, there's more people, there's more traffic, there's trains, whatever, other dogs, things like that. And we can put the dog in that situation and work them through it. What I tell all of my clients is that if you cannot get your dog to place inside the house, the low stimulus environment, there's no way in the world you can take your dog outside, walk your dog around the block, and expect him to not show those behaviors like lunging at other dogs, barking, and things like that. There's no way. But just to make it clear, in my training program, I am not trying to get dogs to like other dogs or to like people. I'm getting the dogs to be manageable for the client, so the client can take dogs into situations like simply taking the dog for a walk around the block, and they can manage their dog. There was a trainer a while back. It was really funny because he was been training, I guess, for a few years and claims to be the best in the world now. But he did a video where he's really criticizing trainers who teach the place command, or at least focus on it. And it was really interesting to me because as I'm watching the video, I'm thinking to myself, this guy's criticizing something that he really knows nothing about. He doesn't even understand the concept of at least why or some trainers, why they teach place and focus on it so much. So for the message that I got, you mentioned that a trainer came out and showed you a little bit of things to do with the leash, but you're still having problems. So what you have to focus on is, before you take the dog outside for a walk, is that dog 98.5% responsive to you inside the house in the low stimulus environment when there's no distractions? You need to get that under control and very accurate before. So if you're watching my story, following or anything, and you want to try to do it on your own, maybe you can't afford training, or you're not close to me, or I don't have a trainer in your area, remember, your dog has to be extremely accurate when there's not a lot going on. Then you can begin to venture out in places. It could be the barks at the neighbor's dog, it could be at the park, wherever. It could be something at the front door or the backyard. But once you have them real accurate in low stimulus environment, then you can try the high stimulus. And what I mean when I say taking your dog into more high stimulus environments, What I mean by that is that you will know in your heart and in your mind that he understands what it is that you're asking from him, and you feel more comfortable putting pressure on him in those situations. Hey, no. Be a good boy. Pay attention. That's better. Hey guys, giving Drew a late night walk here because it's his first night. Want to make sure he gets a good potty break. But I walked him by, you could hear that one dog barking is like 10, 15 feet away. And he pretty much ignored him, so I'm pretty happy with what he did the first night.